The accomplishments of those we honor tonight are a gift of light in a time of darkness. Esther Arinaga, Pat McManaman, and Bill Hoshijo are keepers of a flame that was first lit when Naloyo no Nakanaka was founded by Bill in 1983. Naloyo was Hawaii's first public interest law firm devoted to immigrants and civil rights. Pat succeeded Bill from 1997 to 2008, taking the organization to new heights, while Esther was Naloyo's lodestar, serving both as a staff attorney and board member during its 26 years of existence, before it became the Hawaii Immigrant Justice Center at Legal Aid in 2009. It is upon the shoulders of these three champions of civil and human rights that the work of the legal clinic now stands, though the clinic's early success is a tribute to many other devoted individuals, including, among many, its exemplary executive director, Bettina Mock, and its gifted attorney, Esther Yu. Bill Hoshijo. Bill can fairly be described as the father of public interest immigration law in Hawaii. Fresh from law school, he started Naloyo with virtually no funds but an inspiring vision and commitment. Bill is as selfless as he is unpretentious. He draws his vitality from his humility and sincerity. He was a young man, driven by a dream of equality and opportunity for all, to litigate the discrimination charge of Manuel Fergante, when Fergante, a retired major in the Filipino Armed Forces, was denied a clerk's job at the Department of Motor Vehicles because of his heavy accent. During Bill's tenure, the organization also won a major appeal in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which declared the narrow 10-day period for appeal from the immigration court unconstitutional and a violation of due process. In addition, Bill brought not only the skills of a careful attorney and organizer, but the savoir-faire of a sensational baker to his work, coaxing grants from legislators by delivering scrumptious apple pies to their doorstep. Bill's work with Naloyo also was a launching pad for the expansion of civil rights throughout our state. He played a major role in writing and enacting the legislation that created the Hawaii Civil Rights Commission, and he has led the commission as its executive director since 1997. Among the signature accomplishments at the commission are the commission's decision in Cervelli versus Aloha Bed and Breakfast, which found that lodging could not be denied to a lesbian couple based on the religious beliefs of the landlord. In Boyd versus Premack, the commission also awarded $95,000 in damages for emotional distress and punitive damages to Kiona Boyd, a transgender individual, when she was strangled, punched, threatened, and evicted on only one day's notice from the retreat where she served as a caretaker.
Mahalo Lowell and TLC for including me with Esther and Pat. I'm really happy and honored to be in such good company. Amy Agbayani has asked us to share a little bit about what inspired us to do immigrant justice work when we started out with Naloyo back in the 1980s. It was either Dale Minami, who co-founded the Asian Law Caucus, or a good friend Eric Yamamoto, who described what we had going for us back then as, quote, didn't know any better. Actually, though, our inspiration and what Esther and Pat brought to Naloyo was a passion for justice, a passion and commitment that now inspires the work of TLC. Esther was a catalyst for much of what we were able to do at Naloyo, much as she has been for TLC as well. I first met Esther when she was part of a remarkable 3L class at the Richardson School of Law, the class that created the Advocates for Public Interest Law. Esther helped us get our first real funding, a Humanities, Culture, and the Arts grant for a project that examined the history of insiders and outsiders in Hawaii. That project was critical to the survival of Naloyo and led to all the community legal and advocacy work that followed. I'm sure that Esther and Pat joined me in recognizing that our work was only possible because it was shared with our families, especially our spouses and partners, Joyce, Cliff, and Michael. and that the real work was done by Naloyo staff that in the early days included Julie Newman, Kamile Brown, Bowman Chin, Susan Chong Wong, and Robin Wurtzel. I'd like to leave you with this as TLC embarks on and continues its adventure. I remember a story that Mari Matsuda told about a lesson she learned from the late, great Chrissy Jima. Chris told Mari that justice work is supposed to be fun, not a burden. It's not supposed to be like carrying around a bag of rocks. Thank you, Chris. It was fun. That's what I wish for TLC, with well-deserved support from those who love justice. Thank you.
And his hands are falling justice, and his soul is still on fire. But I'm still here, and I'm going strong. And I'm getting tired of proving I belong.